Well, in terms of my business, really, I think what it's done is it scared off some of the investors that were interested in investing in the hospitality business because they weren't sure about what the long-term effect would be or how long it would last. So I think that and the immigration issues are combined have made some of the investors who haven't historically invested in the hospitality industry concerned about moving there. I think if the shutdown doesn't occur again and we can get some resolution on immigration of some type, I think then those investors' fears will be alleviated and they'll be interested in coming back to our industry.
The long-term ramifications could potentially be significant for some of our hotels where we have properties in markets that are government-driven or heavily reliant on government business. For the temporary reprisal where we've gone back in and the government is back to being open and we have 800,000 people who are ready, willing, and able to back to work, that's a good thing, not only for them but also for this country. We hope that both sides of the aisle behave themselves here and be adult and get this thing solved so that we don't have to revisit that, because there's no question, there's no good that comes from it, and there can certainly be some pain once again if there's any additional time with that situation.
Really, for our company, we don't have any assets in the greater DC market, so we didn't see a ton of direct impact. But certainly, I think regarding our industry, anytime the media picks up long lines at TSA checkpoints, that's going to create some havoc, as well as just understanding the fluidity of the government business as it rolls through in many markets, a key market segment.
You know, I would say that on our business, it's been a relatively nominal effect. I think there are some folks who were fearful of travel and, you know, perceived delays, and that's had a nominal effect on our business. As a whole, though, it may have a bigger effect than some of the key gateway cities.
Well, so short term, we really saw a couple of contracts evaporate for probably a third of our portfolio. And that hurt us in January. So we definitely had some short-term impact, and we also were seeing some things held up in customs because that's all part of Homeland Security. So we definitely saw some impact. Long-term, I think there's no real long-term impact to the government shutdown, other than, you know, obviously the sort of overall dysfunction of Washington in general.
Well, I think in the short term, certainly our DC and Baltimore hotels were negatively impacted immediately. And then long term, I think any instability overall in the government is going to create uncertainty and concern and possibly reduce consumer spending and travel. So we do worry about these kind of things continuing in the long term.
So the government shutdown didn't have a significant effect on our business at our properties, but I think that it's another indication of some uncertainty. So when you're flying and TSA agents are having to show up for work and they're not getting paid, the impact that we've seen on protected areas, you know, with Joshua Tree and things, and people coming in and just they're taking away from things that are, people want to go visit and do, and I think so the impact of just travel and the uncertainty of what that actually means, that's what I think kind of is the long-term effect around this. Is it's another indicator of just uncertainty and not quite knowing, you know, when something like this could happen again and what that would mean.